Guns don't kill people. People kill people by selling them guns. The people who do the mass shootings are the lesser evil. And they are influenced by more evil people, such as Republicans. If you put a monkey behind the wheel of a car, and the monkey runs people over with the car, you're the one who's to blame, not the monkey. I wouldn't put the monkey down, I would put you down. Now, I'm no lawyer, but I asked a neighbor just 10 minutes ago, I said, if you were to give a toddler a pair of scissors and you told the toddler, hey, go run around with these scissors, and the toddler ends up falling and cutting, stabbing himself, would you get in trouble for that? And he goes, yeah, of course. Now, I'm not talking about like a handgun for self-defense. There's nothing wrong with that, any more than there's anything wrong with mace or whatever else you might use for self-defense, especially if you're a female. I'm not talking about people who want to buy a rifle to go hunting. I'm talking about the wackos who buy assault machine guns. Going back to the toddler with the scissors, these idiots might as well be saying, scissors don't kill toddlers, toddlers kill toddlers. Wrong. You killed the toddler by giving the toddler scissors. If you put a toddler by an open window on the 60th floor of a skyscraper and the toddler falls out of the building, yes, I understand. Skyscrapers and windows don't kill toddlers or babies. You did by putting the toddler or the baby there. So let's just get this straight. Guns don't kill people. It's the people that sell the guns to the people who kill people. Nobody is saying that the gun has a brain and the gun walks around and goes around killing people. This utter moron and lunatic, Mike Johnson, the current Republican Speaker of the House, was asked about the recent mass shooting in your land of the free. And he said that, the problem isn't the guns, it's the human heart. And what he was referring to was, it's just these evil people out there. They're the problems. It's not the guns. But I'm like, no. But your quote was accurate. It's your human heart that is killing the people because you're selling them guns. You want guns available for 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds and God knows how young. You Republicans, you people that allow access to guns, you have a problem with your heart. That idiot Ted Cruz, idiot Republican, I mean, I don't think that's kind of like a... it's redundant to say that idiot Republican because it's the same word, really, right? Ted Cruz filmed an ad where he was like frying bacon on his AK-47 because I guess it was hot because he just went shooting with it. And so it's this objectification of guns, this idea that it makes you more of a man to have a gun. That's part of what they're selling, like how they were selling cigarettes as cool, or how they sell alcohol as like a good time, a good safe time. And that Republican Lauren Boebert had a restaurant where people were encouraged to carry guns in the restaurant. But you're right, guns don't kill people. They don't have legs and they don't walk up to you and shoot you. Republicans kill people. There's also the American identity that is tied to guns, that is part of the problem, which is why I'm showing a lot of these Old West photos. See, America is a very, very, very young country compared to other countries. England is known for their monarchy. They've got hundreds, if not 1,000 years of history. Rome has the Colosseum. Italians have pizza. They've got classical music. The Germans, they've got classical music. They've got Baroque music. Italy has art. All these countries have something that's like that could be a cultural identity, right? Asia has, kung fu, karate, uh, chopsticks, all sorts of things that are, staples of their country. What does America have? Okay, apple pie, but not so much anymore. America has guns. That's their cultural identity. The reason I'm showing a lot of these Old West things is because I think, I'm no historian, but I think that American identity with guns goes back to the Old West. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, the beginning of America was the Old West, was it not? But of course, in the Old West, you wouldn't be allowed to open carry when you entered a town, more often than not. There were rules then. And these Republicans, I don't even call them evil necessarily, because they're whack jobs, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, these are very sick people. They're very full of hate, and they're so in need to prove themselves. Matt Gaetz, Josh Hawley, they almost wear their insecurity around their neck. Or as I call them, Marjorie Laserbeam and Bobo the Congress Clown. We got Cancun Cruz. I'm not sure what to call Josh Hawley, except for like a wannabe Patrick Bateman, like an ugly Patrick Bateman, right? He probably watches American Psycho and thinks like, that's the guy I want to be. And I mean, how about this for a law? If you can't make your own gun, then you shouldn't be able to use one, right? Like, why should you be able to use science that you don't even understand and then use it to do something that's very much against the purpose of the concoction? And science needs to stop providing uneducated people with scientific things, right? Like, they're using cell phones, they're using nuclear bombs. They would never know how to create these things on their own. One of my solutions is the scientists have to stop sharing their information with the stupid people. Don't tell them when there's going to be a hurricane. Only tell the smart people, and let the hurricane destroy the stupid people. Because they don't believe in science anyways, so why are we helping them all the time? Not that I'm a scientist, but I respect science and I understand the scientific process well enough to not question it. I was thinking about like all these views, like pro-life, pro-guns, anti-euthanasia. I found out that everybody who's pro-life is also anti-euthanasia. So in other words, you have to have a baby even if you were raped by a family member. And then the baby could be born deformed and in excruciating pain, but you're not allowed to kill it. Because euthanasia, you're not allowed to abort it, and then when it's born, you're not allowed to euthanize it because they're against that. Then the kid goes to school and gets shot in the head because guns are great, but you're still not allowed to put it out of its misery. So it grows up in its excruciating pain until it finally dies. Oh, and along the way, it was never given any kind of, health care, and the child got no child support. So the kid was basically eating, garbage his whole life, or hers. Yeah, when the kid got shot during a mass shooting, the parents couldn't afford to pay for the surgery to remove the bullet. Oh, and I think a very funny argument is when they say, well, we need to arm ourselves in case, we need to do an uprising or, an insurrection, and if the government gets out of control, we need to defend ourselves. Dude, if the government gets out of control, you can't defend yourselves anyways. They could bomb you. They could do anything. They could do anything they want. They could put anthrax in your water. Like, you are powerless if the government goes rogue. But by all means, buy gas masks and build a bomb shelter. And break the camera on your phone so they can't watch you. And also, I wonder, well, if we're allowed to have any kind of weapon we want, well, can I build a nuclear bomb? Why not? I mean, it's an arm. Why not? Right to bear arms. But I have a good law that I think would work. Actually, would solve the whole gun problem. In order to buy a gun, you must first use it on yourself. I'm getting back to the they wouldn't even know how to make a gun. They don't even know how it works. Well, I'm not saying you're stupid, but if you basically have the education level of a caveman, where the only kind of weapon you could build would be like a club or a stick, then I don't think you should be using a gun. And a question I have, because I live in Toronto and I've been to Disney World every year of my life. I'm a snowbird. And since Florida has an open carry policy, everybody's allowed to have a gun all the time everywhere. Are guns allowed at Disney World? Can you just like bring an AK-47 into Disney World? Did I say that Republicans are idiots and that the words are synonymous? Well, I take that back. The Republicans are also sick in the head, mentally ill as well as stupid. And a wise thing I once said was that, a person who's stupid but sane, they can manage because their sanity will compensate for their stupidity. They'll be like, okay, I know I'm dumb, so I'm going to listen to this logical person. And they'll be okay. And somebody who's insane but smart, they'll be okay too because they're smart enough to say, okay, I'm out of my mind. I can't have a gun, or I need to be monitored, or I need to be on medication. But there's people out there who are sick and stupid, right? And when you're sick and stupid, you're the worst. And that's basically Republicans. That's what a Republican is. Sick, mentally ill, and mentally retarded. And it's really sad, for us thoughtful people because, I guess Einstein never should have shared his theory of relativity because look what happened. It led to the atom bomb. And a writer shouldn't write a story because it could lead to, the Werther effect, if you want to look that up. You can't be an artist anymore because that could be misused. I mean, look what Disney's doing with their classic movies. They're remaking them where it no longer makes any sense. Right? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs has become Snow Latina, and that's it. No dwarves. Can't have dwarves. Well, I mean, if you're so against that, then don't make the movie. Slightly off tangent, but I mean, if you're gonna remake a movie and you want to change it all so that this is what I hate about the left. You want to change it all so that it's politically correct? Well, 50 years from now, whatever we think is politically correct now will not be politically correct in the future. And you want to take away all the bad things in history when you're making movies? Okay, well, the Egyptians, the pyramids were built by slaves. So should we destroy all the pyramids? Because that's a symbol of slavery? I mean, almost the entirety of human history is filled with horrible, horrible atrocities against humans, against each other. Burning witches and, anti-Semitism. It's filled with pain and cruelty. Another thing that I think Republicans should begin to put into effect is a new dress code. If they're going to be a clown caucus, they should have to wear clown outfits. They have to drop the suit and tie and just wear clown costumes to the Senate. And on the broadest level, humanity's at a turning point. We're either going to destroy ourselves or we're going to learn a big lesson. We might learn that guns are not the best thing ever. Why not Americans, maybe they should go back to apple pie. And we have to re-examine our values, where currently an artist is a loser and mentally ill, but a businessman and a psychopath are considered to be a success. There was a Charles Dickens book called The Old Curiosity Shop, and the villain of the story had like 1,000,000 locks on his door, and Dickens described it, and he said he had 1,000,000 locks on his door because people like him think that everybody's like him, and since he was a thief, he's always assuming everybody's gonna try to rob him. And continuing with that logic, anybody who wants a gun should probably not have one, because why would you need a gun even in gun-toting United States? You probably have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than by getting shot by somebody if you know how to de-escalate a situation, right? Like somebody's being a dumbass in a bar. Well, if you know how to de-escalate, walk away, there's not going to be any violence, let alone gun violence. But if you're the kind of guy who loves his gun, and he's excited because he just got a new gun and he can't wait to show it to people, he's the most likely to pull it out when somebody gives him a little bit of sass. Go ahead, make my day. I can't wait to use my brand new double barrel gun. I'll blow a hole right through your head, and it'll keep going, and it'll go back. It's such a powerful gun. And like, dude, nobody thinks you're powerful because you've got a machine gun. I think you're creepy as hell, and any healthy woman would think that you're creepy as hell for having a collection of guns. Why don't you just buy a car that you can soup up, and you can vicariously, superimpose your identity onto your car instead of your gun. And you can drive around and think that all the girls are looking at you because of your nice car. And they're not. They're actually laughing at you because you're just riding around the block over and over again with your music on. But, a car, that's less harmful than a gun if you're going to be a dumbass. It's funny because a friend of me was defending the gun rights thing and was saying, well, if somebody wants to kill you, they'll find a way. They don't need a gun. They'll find a way. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? She goes, oh yeah, they'll run you over with their car. And I said, yeah, but the thing is, I'd rather be running away from a car. It's easier to escape from someone who's trying to run me over with a car than someone who's trying to shoot me with a machine gun. I'm looking at that. You have your hobbies, I have mine. Well, yeah, I have hobbies. I play chess. You could buy a yo-yo. You could do all sorts. You could learn how to dance. You could take singing classes. You could, you want to be tough? You could be do the boxing. Go into a boxing ring. Take boxing lessons. You could take karate lessons. I'm looking at these pictures. This is creepy. Why don't you take up gardening? If you're one of those southern people who likes, southerners, who like the guns, why don't you choose to, have a garden? You got all that land, or you could raise cattle. You could be a cowboy. Cowboys don't need to have guns. I don't think there's ever been a woman who turned down a guy because he didn't have a gun. Unless... Well, I guess it's easier to turn down a guy if you're not being held at gunpoint, but that's not what I meant. Like a girl that goes, oh my god, he doesn't even have a gun. What a loser. I could never sleep with him. He doesn't even have a machine gun. And speaking of that, how small is your penis if you need to have a big, huge machine gun? But I'll end where I started. Because these Republicans are really, really bright. They are so correct when they say guns don't kill people. Guns don't have legs and little heads and brains and arms, and they walk down the street and they open the door and then they come in and shoot you. They are so correct about that. Feel free to put that on a t-shirt. I think that's pretty cool slogan. And yeah, guns don't kill people. Republicans do. If you support gays, click like. If you respect blacks, comment. If you think women are people too, click the notification bell. And if you care about sick children, subscribe.